the humanitarian sector faces a catastrophic decline in its capacity to respond to global crises, according to a new report, with widespread job cuts decimating expertise and skills at all levels. The findings highlight a deeply concerning trend, fueled by a dramatic reduction in funding, leaving organizations struggling to maintain essential operations and threatening the lives of millions reliant on their assistance. The report underscores the severity of the situation, painting a stark picture of a sector teetering on the brink of collapse, jeopardizing its ability to effectively address future emergencies. Several prominent organizations have already announced significant job cuts, including the International Rescue Committee, IRC, Danish Refugee Council, Norwegian Refugee Council, and the war zone-focused Norwegian People's Aid. The sheer scale of these reductions reflects the profound impact of the funding freeze, leaving these critical organizations grappling with the daunting task of maintaining their vital services while simultaneously managing drastic staff reductions. The IRC, for instance, boasts a global workforce exceeding 17,000, a workforce now facing an uncertain future under the weight of these drastic measures. The trigger for this crisis can be traced back to January 20th, when the announcement of a 90-day freeze on a significant portion of the USAid's $72 billion, £57 billion, foreign aid budget, a freeze that included the suspension of USAid, responsible for approximately $40 billion of that total sent shockwaves through the humanitarian world. The immediate consequences have been devastating, with reports indicating the closure of hundreds of humanitarian and aid projects across more than 200 countries. The impact on USAid itself has been equally staggering, with almost all of its 10,000 employees either dismissed, furloughed, or placed on leave, leaving a gaping void in the agency's operational capacity. A recent report compiled by the International Council of Voluntary Agencies, ICVA, a network encompassing aid groups from 160 countries, provides compelling evidence of the widespread impact. The report reveals that a staggering 55% of the affected organizations surveyed were forced to resort to drastic measures, including staff dismissals, suspensions, or leave mandates. These figures represent a stark reality, highlighting the devastating consequences of the funding crisis on the organizations striving to deliver essential services to vulnerable populations worldwide. The ramifications extend far beyond the immediate job losses. The erosion of expertise and institutional knowledge poses a long-term threat to the sector's ability to effectively respond to future crises. The loss of experienced personnel, particularly those with years of on-the-ground experience navigating complex emergencies, creates a significant capacity gap that will be extremely difficult, if not impossible, to fill quickly. The implications are particularly dire for communities already facing immense challenges, such as those dependent on ongoing healthcare programs. UNAIDS has reported that nearly 20,000 community health workers providing vital HIV services in Mozambique and 15,000 in South Africa have received stop work orders, directly impacting access to critical health care and potentially resulting in increased morbidity and mortality within these vulnerable populations. The cumulative effect of these cuts is a severely weakened humanitarian response capacity, leaving vulnerable populations acutely exposed to the risks of escalating crises, heightened suffering, and potentially catastrophic consequences. The report serves as a stark warning, emphasizing the urgent need for a comprehensive and sustained response to prevent the complete collapse of a sector critical to global stability and human well-being. The future effectiveness of humanitarian action hangs precariously in the balance, dependent upon immediate and substantial action to reverse the devastating effects of these unprecedented funding cuts. The international community must act decisively to mitigate these catastrophic consequences and prevent irreparable damage to the humanitarian response system.